Hi, Brandon. This is Chris. I talked to you on the phone yesterday, and this is the audit that I told you I would send you. And I have an SEO agency, and I specialize in working with roofing companies and helping them to rank well on Google so that you can get more leads to grow your business. So this is just a quick audit. It kind of shows you the how and why behind Google. So if your goal is to grow your business, this is certainly something worth considering because Google is the new phone book. If someone is looking for a roofing company, they're going to go to Google. And if you're not ranking well, then they're not going to find you. So let's first look at where I found you. Now, I have to apologize. I think you were the one that said that you had relocated to St. George, but I'm not positive. So if I've got the wrong company, I'm really sorry. But I thought that you were the one that said that. So I kind of did two things for you here. I looked at roofing in St. George, and I couldn't find you anywhere. I looked through the first 6 pages and you don't exist there. So if you're in St. George, there's a lot of work to be done there. With Salt Lake Roofing, I found you right there at the very bottom of page 5. And I believe you said that you were at page 1. Well, you're not at page 1 anymore. You're on page 5, unless you're talking about a different keyword. But Salt Lake City Roofing is one of your main keywords. You should be ranking well for that. So see this black bar at the top? This is what you call an incognito search. When you do a search this way, Google is not considering things that I've looked for previously. So this gives me a true picture of what your potential customers are seeing. If you're not searching this way, then Google will remember that you've looked for your own website before, and it'll start bringing it up in the rankings on your computer, but not necessarily on other people's computers. So you need to check your own website this way. Okay, so let's dive into the audit and take a look at a few things. Okay, so first of all, let's look at the number of pages that Google is indexing on your website. So this is just a little test that you can do, and this tells you how much content Google is seeing, because Google likes a website that has content added to it on a continual basis. You're always adding new content. It helps you look like the authority in your niche. And so what you do is you go up here to your address bar. See your address bar up here? And you go to the beginning of your address and you type in the word site, S-I-T-E, and then you put a colon and then you hit enter. And this page will pop up. And see right here at the top, it says about 11. That means that Google is seeing 11 pages that you have connected with your website, which is not bad. That's, I've seen a lot worse than that. So you've got a few pages on there, which is good. But the trick with this is you need to beat out the competition. So I went to Roofing St. George, and I just pulled off somebody from the top here. I'm sure you've heard of them. This is Hershey Roofing. Let's do the same thing with his website and just see what it is. Site colon. He's got 114. If you did this in Salt Lake, you'd probably see that they've got, 230, right around in there. So they've got a lot more pages than you. So who is Google going to look at as the expert? The guy with 114 pages or the guy with 11 pages? So that's something that we can help you work on. Okay, and then the next thing I was going to look at were your citations. So all over the internet, there are directories, and they carry your name and your address and your information. So no matter where someone is looking on the internet, hopefully they'll find you. Now this is Yext, and it looks like you already have power listings with Yext. So your previous SEO guy probably arranged for that. You're paying for that, and that's great. But if you've moved to St. George, you're listed in Salt Lake. So that's a problem. If you're still in Salt Lake, this address looks a little funky to me. I live in Salt Lake, and 450th West sounds like, I don't know, Tooele, a little past Tooele maybe. So I don't know if it's supposed to be 450 West or 45th West. I'm not quite sure what your address is supposed to be. It's not listed on your website. So we need to take a look at that and make sure that this is right. So Yext does 70 directories for you. When we do your SEO, there are 350 listings for the United States, and we'll make sure that you are listed with all 350 and that they are correct on all 350, so that no matter where someone is looking, they will find you. So that's something that needs to be addressed. This is a test on your metadata. Now, your metadata is like the title of your website. So if you're looking on the Google search, it's these blue and purple lines here. Okay, so it's kind of like the title of your book. It tells Google what you're all about. Your title is Roofing Contractor, Installations, Repairs, and More, Salt Lake City. Now that's good if you're in Salt Lake City. Now, set up well, it tells them where you are, what you do. It would be better. I mean, you do have 72 characters in there because you want to tell Google who you are, what you do, and where you are. And this doesn't have your name in there. So I would suggest taking out and more, because nobody's going to be searching for and more. Just have roofing contractor, installations, and repairs, or maybe just roofing contractor, repairs. And then your city. You don't need Utah. There aren't more than one. There's only one Salt Lake City. So we could cut out a few of those words and get roofs by Reese in there, if we play with it a little bit, because it should have who you are, what you do, and where you are. So if you're in St. George, we need to fix that. So that's something that we need to look at. And then these are your H1 and your H2 tags. These are like your chapter headings in your book. This tells Google what your content is all about. Now, your H1 heading says, is your roof past its prime? This should tie in with your title. And so we need to change that. That'll help you rank. And then your H2 headings, you don't even have any. So that's telling Google that you don't have any content. So this is a good place for a lot of good keywords, different types of roofing that you do, different services that you do, roof repairs, roof installations, new roof, all different kinds of things like that. So we can help you get that fixed up. So these are just a few of the things that we can help you with, because Google is all about the end user experience. And having a lot of content on your page tells them that you're an authority. Having all these things like your citations and your titles all fixed properly tells them that you're serious about your online presence and builds trust with Google. So all these things are important. None of them are the only factor. There's a lot that goes into it, but each thing plays a part. And this is a place to start. So what we need to do is we need to start working on some of these and start getting you from page 5 or whatever it was up to page 1 and start advancing the ball down the field so that Google will rank you well and the phone starts to ring and you'll get more leads and then you can get more business. So hopefully this was valuable to you. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those questions for you, and I'll be contacting you soon and just to see what questions you've got and just to talk to you a little bit more about this. So I hope you have a great day, and thanks so much for your time, Brandon, and we'll be talking to you later.